Welcome to one of the best weapons in Call of Duty Warzone. It's one of my personal favorites. It shoots incredibly slow, but it will kill you from across the map. Welcome to the beast, one of the best sniper rifles in the game, the HDR. Today we're going to break down everything there is to know about this weapon. We will compare the stats, we will eliminate the weapon's way completely, and I will show you some of its best loadouts for Warzone. The HDR has no real life counterpart, but in the single player campaign, the weapon is referred to as HDR's sniper rifle. It was handmade by HDR Karim, who gave this rifle to Alex in the mission of the Highway of Death. HDR mentions that this rifle uses Lapua ammunition, but in Warzone it uses 12.7 times 108mm bullets, which are capable of piercing armor at 600 meters. Let's go over the basic weapon stats. The HDR has a magazine size of only 5 bullets, but this number can be improved with the 7 or 9 round magazines. One of the biggest downsides of this weapon is the incredibly slow ADS time of 590 milliseconds. However, you will be able to quickscope by 300 milliseconds. Unfortunately for the HDR, it has the slowest rate of fire among all sniper rifles or marksman rifles in Warzone, with only 31.5 bullets per second. Well, unless you consider the crossbow to be a proper marksman rifle, then the HDR gets the second place. In other words, this is definitely a weak spot. But it immediately compensates for its weak spot with its strongest side, its damage output. If you hit your opponent in the head, you will cause 280 damage points. Only the crossbow does better and the AX steals the same amount of damage. Shots to the chest will cause 197 damage points. Stomach shots cause 102 damage, and if you shoot them in the arms or legs, you will cause 91 damage points. Every sniper's dream is one shot, one kill, and the HDR allows you just to do that. One headshot is all you need to down your opponent. If you are forced to shoot him in the chest, then you will need 2 shots, and going for his stomach or limbs will require 1 more bullet. The HDR's damage output makes up for its slow rate of fire, but only if you can hit your headshots. Otherwise, it will take you 1.905 seconds if you go for 2 chest shots. And to make matters worse, you will only be able to down your opponent in 3.810 seconds if you shoot him in his stomach or limbs. I could give you the DPS ratings, but those are actually the same as the damage ratings because of the incredibly slow rate of fire. Reloading this weapon is a pain in the butt, because it will take you 4.4 seconds. However, you can improve this number when you use sleight of hand, and then it will only take you 3.2 seconds, an improvement of 1.2 seconds, which is pretty nice. But the HDR still remains the slowest weapon to reload among all sniper or marksman rifles. And yes, even the crossbow can reload faster than the HDR. Now that we know what the HDR can do, let's tweak its loadout to make it ready for Warzone. Stealth is crucial for any sniper. That is why the monolithic suppressor is so good. Not only does it provide sound suppression, it also increases the damage range. But all of this comes at a cost. Your ADS time will suffer and your aim walking steadiness will be reduced. The barrel is a no-brainer. Only the 26.9 inch HDR Pro makes sense, improving the bullet velocity, the damage range and recoil control. Not that you really need the last one, but hey, that's the way it is. Your ADS time and your movement speed will suffer because of this. How do you want to see your target? This is an important decision to make for any sniper. Do you want to stick with whatever comes with the gun, which is actually pretty decent and much better than first expected, or do you want something more personalized and something that might give you an advantage in Warzone? In that case, I can definitely recommend the thermal sniper scope, but remember, this is always a personal decision. Some guys are good with one thing and other guys are good with another. So feel free to choose whatever you prefer, but I will explain why I went from the standard optic to the thermal dual powered scope and now to the thermal sniper scope. I actually liked the standard scope that came with this gun. It feels good when you use it, so in the very beginning I never used anything else. But wait until you then go for a thermal scope. Now everything becomes clear. The only thing you will focus on from here on out are your enemies. You won't be looking at trees anymore. You won't be scanning bushes for movement, none of that. From now on, you will be just looking at the bright white ghosts running around waiting to be killed. Even these slightly darker ghosts are pretty easy to spot. Those are the guys who are using cold-blooded. I started making a habit out of it to kill these guys first, because I just want to show them that using this perk will only make matters worse. Other snipers kill them last because they don't stand out as much as their white counterparts, so it just depends on who is holding the gun, I guess. There are two things that you need to know about the thermal scopes in Warzone. Smoke does not help. It is completely useless against a sniper with a thermal scope. As you can see here, I can clearly see what is going on, which is what we would expect. And if I then use smoke to block my own vision, then I can still see clearly as if the smoke wasn't even there in the first place. About a week ago, I changed my loadout and I started using smoke as a sniper just because of this. I'm still exploring all the possibilities, but the idea was that I would use it to allow me to easily shoot at my enemies if they're trying to rush my position. Let's say that you're running around in the open, you see an enemy team, you shoot and you down one guy. His buddies now all notice you and they open fire as well. I will then deploy smoke so that they can't see me, and then I can just continue shooting from relative safety. Great idea, right? Until the moment you realize that the smoke dissipates rather quickly and you're still standing there out in the open. I'm still working on a few techniques on how to best use the smoke to my advantage, but I feel that the duration of the smoke has to be increased, to be honest. Can you guys let me know in the comments what you think about this, because I really want to hear your side of the story. And I also want to hear all the regulars as well, guys like Luxon, Mobile Society, Tom, SY, Neon82UK and Antonio, and of course the many others who I haven't mentioned today. So let me know what you think about the smoke in Warzone. Do you like it? Do you use it? How do you use it? And do you think that the duration of the smoke has to be increased or not? The second thing you have to be aware of in Warzone are the windows. They will block your thermal scope. In other words, you won't be able to see through them. Luckily there is a quick fix, and all you have to do is to break the windows and you're all set and ready to go. When I started using thermal scopes, I thought I needed the thermal dual power scope because it had two zoom ranges, a 5x and a 12.1x magnification. All of this sounds great because you can then shoot at guys who are out of your reach, at least under normal circumstances. I did take those ultra long range shots, but it was never really worth it. Most of the time you're shooting at people who are camping on top of rooftops and they have cover as soon as they go down, so you can't really finish them anyway. I have to be honest, a lot of times I thought to myself, why am I even shooting at this guy? So I decided to try the thermal sniper scope. This one only has a 8x magnification, and it works in a way a lot better than the dual powered scope, because it allows you to ADS much faster and you don't really need the 12.1x magnification. Until now there hasn't been one single second or one single kill where I thought, man, I wish I had the 12.1 scope. That never happened, so the 8x is more than good enough in Call of Duty Warzone. The stock options that you have for the HDR are pretty good, and this is how I turned my HDR into a beast of a sniper rifle. What you're looking at right now is the standard HDR with the thermal sniper scope, but without any other attachments. Pay close attention to the weapon sway. In other words, look at how the center of your scope is moving around. This is one of the biggest issues that snipers have to deal with, because even if you put your aim dead center on the guy's forehead, it won't stay there for very long. So, in this case, it seems to touch the outside of the satellite dish. It will even go outside of the dish at times, but also focus on how fast it moves. As you can see, it won't be easy to compensate for this, unless you use a FTAC champion, which will improve your aiming stability and aim walking stability at the cost of aim walking movement speed. As you can see, you won't even come close to the edge of the satellite dish anymore, and the sway has slowed down drastically. Now, this is something we can all compensate for. There is one more thing that you can do to make this even better. I don't do this myself, but it's something you have to be aware of as a sniper. As you know, you can hold your breath, and while doing so you can eliminate the weapon sway altogether, but only for a duration of 4.5 seconds. If you use presence of mind, you can improve that number to 1 minute and 2 seconds, which is a very long time. The reason why I don't personally use it is because it slows me down. I don't quick scope, but I also don't stare through my scope for long periods of time because of the scope glint, and of course a stationary target is a dead target. And I don't want to be the dead target, if you know what I mean. What I usually do is I pop out from cover, quickly take a shot, get back behind cover and then pop out again. If you play like that, you don't really need to hold your breath, because in that case it will just slow you down. In a previous video, I recommended you to use the 7-round magazine, because then you could down and kill an entire enemy team and you would still have one extra bullet left without having to reload. This was the case when you were playing trios. Now with quads, you won't be able to do that anymore just because of the extra guy. A smart player might say, hey, it actually makes more sense now to use the standard standard magazine and use sleight of hand, saving you 1.2 seconds when you have to reload. And he will be right, but only if you need 10 shots to down and kill the entire enemy team. So imagine yourself running around in Warzone with the HDR and suddenly you have to down and kill 4 guys. This means that you will need at least 2 bullets per person, and that is if you don't miss your headshots. So you will need 8 bullets. But if you're realistic and you have a bad day, you might miss 2 of your shots. So if you need exactly 10 bullets to finish the job, then it makes sense to stick to the standard magazine and use sleight of hand. Because in that case, and in that case alone, you're better off using these attachments. If you're playing your usually incredibly good one-shot one-kill games, so you're really in the zone today, and you only need 8 or 9 bullets, then you can finish the job faster with the 9-round magazines. The same goes for those stupidly bad days when you just seem to miss those easy shots and you need more than 10 bullets, then you're still better off with the 9-round magazines, because with the standard ones you would now have to reload a second time, and with the 9-round magazines you just have to reload once. Just for info, because the 9-round magazines do have a negative effect on the ADS time. It will slow down your ADS time by 2 frames in a 60 frames per second recording. Let's quickly check if it all adds up. So 16.33 seconds per frame times 2 is 32.66 times 11 bullets, let's say, is 359.26 milliseconds. But you will have to reload your weapon once, which takes 4.4 seconds. So in a perfect world, you will need 4.76 seconds to shoot 11 bullets with the 9-round magazines. If you use the standard magazines and sleight of hand, you will have to reload twice and you will then need 6.4 seconds. So the 9-round magazines allow you to take out an enemy team much faster, unless you need exactly 10 bullets on that particular day. So, is the HDR a beast of a sniper rifle? Yes it is, but most of you already knew that, but now you know why, and now you know how to set it up to get the ultimate advantage in Warzone. Okay guys, if you liked this video, then make sure to subscribe, because there are a lot more videos about Call of Duty Warzone that will be coming your way. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in Warzone.